With so many animes coming out every season, it is bound to exist good animes and bad animes. And today we will see what are the absolute best anime of each year, starting in 2012 and going all the way to 2022. And right from the birth in 2012, there are a lot of good animes that came out this season. One of those is the first season of JoJo Bizarre Adventure, one anime that nowadays is deemed to be one of the best and one of the most bizarre animes ever made. It without a doubt is a great piece of art, but first season was really weak compared to the others, and thanks to that I don't think that JoJo was the best anime that came out this year. Instead, the best anime that came out in 2012 was High School DxD, with an amazing, beautiful plot, startling fight.
Silence, wench. I do not wish to be horny anymore.
Alright, I'm just kidding. It has to be Sword Art Online. When this show came out, it was simply a evolve from the rest, with its astonishing animation, breathtaking fighting scenes, and a creative plot that you didn't see anywhere else. Sword Art Online was the peak of anime at that time. The story follows a guy that will soon be known as Kirito. This guy was an enthusiastic gamer that loved to play VR MMORPGs, and one game that was being hyped by a long time, known as Sword Art Online, was finally being released. Kirito went ahead and started playing the game, just to find out a little later that he couldn't log out of the game. If he wanted to go back to real life, he needed to upgrade his character, clear all 100 floors of Aincrad, and finally kill the final boss. And by the way, if he died within the game, he would also die in real life. Nowadays, a lot of people like to clown about Sword Art Online, saying that it is trash and all that sort of things. And even though it surely has its flaws, I do believe that you need to watch this anime, because there is no other anime that will make you feel like Sword Art Online. It is an amazing experience that really resembles as if you were playing a MMORPG. It is just incomparable to other shows. Now, even though there were quite a ton of good shows airing in 2013, no one was as good as Attack on Titan. This year was when the first season was released, and it was the start of one of the most staggering animes ever made. It tells the story of a little boy named Aaron. He was just living his life peacefully. Unfortunately, however, at that time he didn't have internet, so he couldn't experience great games like Elden Ring, but it is what it is. What matters is that within this world, the civilization was living within giant walls. They were meant to protect humans from the titans that wandered outside. No one knew where the titans came from, or even who made walls, because they were just giant, and at that time they didn't have the technology to do that. Even though there were all these mysteries lying around, they needed to keep on living their lives. And they did that, until the day that a giant titan appeared and made a giant hole on the wall. All other titans started entering through the hole, and now humans are basically doomed. Just the start of the anime was amazing, with a plot storyline that you didn't see anywhere else. But only now, in 2022, when the final season has finally aired, can we see what a masterpiece this anime is. Contrary to what everyone was expecting, this anime suddenly turned from a co-op anime to a PvP anime, if you know what I mean. In 2014, we once again had a ton of extraordinary shows coming out. From Parasite, Your Lane April, to even Haikyuu, there were really plenty of good animes. But one that was absolute best was Tokyo Ghoul. I will be honest with you, just listen closely. The first season of this anime is one of the best pieces of fiction that you will ever experience. The show follows Kaneki, a normal human that one day was on a date with a beautiful waifu, and my boy discovered that she was a ghoul, a creature that most of humanity didn't know about, and a creature that fed on human flesh. Kaneki tried as hard as he could to get away, and from a stroke of good luck, the ghoul that was trying to kill him ended up dying thanks to an accident. Kaneki was badly injured, but he was alive. When people arrived at site, an ambulance was called, and Kaneki went straight ahead to the hospital. In order to save his life, the doctors decided to transplant parts of the body of the human-looking ghoul into Kaneki, which turned him into a half-ghoul. From that point onwards, our main character couldn't eat normal food anymore. Now he needed to eat human flesh to survive. This was really a traumatic experience for him, and also for us viewers. If you are interested in knowing how this story continues, make sure to watch this anime, because it really is a piece of art. And the best anime made in 2015 needs to be One Punch Man. This show is pretty straightforward. It is about a bald guy called Saitama, and as you can imagine by the title, he basically one-punches anything. He can kill every being with just one punch. He wasn't born this way, by the way. In order to become this powerful, he endured a tremendous strain. But let's not talk about that. One Punch Man has one of the best animations that we have seen so far. Even now in 2022, the animation is just another level. Although interesting, the plot of this story isn't anything mind-blowing, but it is still a great watch, so you should definitely give it a try. We also had another great show that, to my surprise, it seems like no one talks about it. It is Death Parade. What is interesting about this one is seeing what humans are capable of just to survive. And also the reaction that they have when they finally learn that there isn't any way to survive. So, 2016, this one was really a tough pick for me. I was tempted to choose ReZero, an amazing isekai, and arguably one of the best. Unlike all the other stories about people that are transported to another world, Subaru, our main character, isn't overpowered at all, and even though he was transported to a fantasy world, he can't even use magic properly. Furthermore, even though this is a fantasy world, his life isn't easy at all. We soon discover that he has power to return from death, and he surely will need this power. In the world of ReZero, he is also faced with extreme situations, and he will use his power as much as he can in order to save the people that he loves. Trust me, ReZero is just an amazing story, with a thrilling plotline, an emotional, and sometimes really creepy original soundtrack. It is just a masterpiece. But there is other story that is also a masterpiece, and it is A Silent Voice. I'm gonna be blunt, it is a crime that this movie didn't win an Oscar. When this story starts, the protagonist was still an elementary school student, and in order to just look cool in front of his friends, when a deaf girl joined his class, he started bullying her, and just doing really cruel things to her. He wasn't the only one, however. Everyone from his class bullied this girl just to make fun of her. The girl's name was Shoko, and eventually her mother found out, which made the school make an investigation to find out the culprit. Everyone blamed our main character, even though he wasn't the only one. From that day onwards, the girl transferred to other school, and our main character was left without any friends. Some time passed by, and now he's on the third year of high school, and he really regrets what he did in the past. In order to redeem himself, he will do his best to once again meet Shoko, and I must tell you, this story is just beautiful. It is about the romance between the two, and also their imperfections. Apart from having an amazing art style, it is a very emotional and enjoyable show. Trust me on this one, you will enjoy this movie no matter what age or what gender you are. And in 2017, I didn't have to think much. Made in Abyss is without a doubt the best anime made in this year. It is a plain masterpiece. It has a breathtaking scenery, soundtrack that will send chills down your spine, and just an incredibly immersive story about the unknown mysteries of the Abyss. The Abyss is at the same time a mysterious, beautiful, and dreadful place. It is divided by different layers, and if you descend too deep into it, you can never come back. When you go from a lower layer to a higher one, you are affected by a curse, and the power of this curse depends on how deep you are. The curse can just make you feel dizzy, or even kill you. It really depends on how profound you are. In the Abyss there are new, incredible creatures that you can see anywhere else. The thing is that they pretty much are all dangerous. Even though this show looks cute and approachable, it really isn't that cute at all. It is a really dark show that not everyone can watch. But if you are willing to watch it, you will not regret it, because this show is a peak fiction. And for 2018, we have one of the most underrated anime in my opinion, Devilman Crybaby. A show adapted by Netflix, and this one also really isn't for everyone. Devilman Crybaby surely is a thrilling and brutal experience that showcases what an anime can do when unrestrained. The story follows Akira, a kind-hearted boy that one day was suddenly possessed by a demon, and by one of the most powerful ones at that. Usually the demon would take control over the body, and Akira would basically cease to exist. But our main character was strong, so he managed to keep the control over his body, and now he has the powers of a devil, even though humanity doesn't know about it. There are many devils that are hidden within human society, and just living alongside them. As the story goes on, the anime will start to be more and more chaotic. The devils will start wreaking havoc in all parts of the world, and we are not even sure if humanity will even survive. As I said in the beginning, Devilman Crybaby is just an exotic and brutal experience. The only thing that I don't like is over-reliance on sexual scenes to cause shock. But apart from that, this show is great. If you have the courage to watch it, that is. And for 2019 we have The Promised Neverland. This show is just new, unique and exciting. It is about a group of orphans that happily lived together as a big family. This until they discovered that the place that they lived in wasn't an orphanage at all. It was more like a farm. They soon discovered all the dark secrets that were being hidden from them, and since that point on there was no going back. I won't spoil you much, but just think about this anime as a Farmville adaptation, and has a ride in a roller coaster of emotions. The only caveat is that even though the first season is superb, the second one is really trash. It wasn't badly animated or anything, but they just rushed through the whole story, and it didn't end up well. If I'm being honest with you, I really regret watching second season. But you can watch it if you want, and you might as well like it. And now, in 2020, I could have picked Jujutsu Kaisen, and the show is great. It has really good animation, a good story plot, and also a lot of breathtaking fight scenes. But, and I know that this one is a controversial pick, I have another show that you might as well enjoy, and it is Tonika Kawaii. If I wanted to describe this anime in just 2 words, it would be wholesome and heartwarming. There isn't much to talk about it. Tonika Kawaii is an anime about romance between Naz and Tsukasa. It is a marvelous, cute, and simple rom-com that you should watch to lighten your day. I'm pretty sure that you will love the dynamic between the two main characters, and the show is also hella funny. And now, for 2021, there are a ton of amazing shows that I could have picked. One of those being Demon Slayer. The second season just aired in 2021, and it was amazing. It straight up displayed the best animation that we have seen so far, even better than Fate. It is an impeccable show made by Studio Fotable, and even though the story is kinda average, if you like to watch good fight scenes, then you should definitely give it a try. But that will not be my pick for 2021. It will be Tokyo Revengers. This one offers an intriguing and exciting story about Takemichi. One day, as he was waiting for a train, he was just assassinated. And just like this, suddenly, he went 10 years back in time. Now that he's back in the past, he will do everything that he can in order to save himself and also to save a girl that he loved that was also killed. Apart from the average animation, Tokyo Revengers has a great storyline that always makes you keep wanting more and more. It is just amazing, I'm pretty sure that you will love it. And finally, for 2022, we have Spy Family. This anime is just wholesome, original and also hella fun to watch. It is about a strange and primarily unusual family that, thanks to the turn of fate, ended up living together. In this beautiful family, we have the father, that secretly is a spy, and we also have the mother, that secretly is an assassin. And to finish things off, we have the daughter, that secretly has the power to read minds. As you can imagine, this setup will lead to a lot of funny moments. And furthermore, the story is also really interesting. And now, if you, perhaps, want another interesting video to watch, you can watch this one right here. Thank you very much for watching until the end, and as always, stay well.